Imagine this. It's late at night. The wind howls outside, casting eerie shadows on your bedroom wall. Every creak of the house sounds like a footstep, and your imagination runs wild. Suddenly, you're convinced there's a monster under your bed. Its claws reaching out, waiting to grab your ankles. This familiar childhood fear, though irrational, perfectly encapsulates the essence of fear itself, a powerful, often illogical, emotional response to a perceived threat. Fear is a universal human experience. From childhood monsters to adult anxieties, fear weaves its way through our lives, shaping our choices and influencing our actions. We fear the unknown, the unpredictable, and the potentially painful. This primal emotion, while often uncomfortable, serves an essential purpose: to protect us from harm. But when fear becomes excessive, it can paralyze us, preventing us from living our lives to the fullest. Fear, in its most basic form, is a survival mechanism, a warning signal that alerts us to potential danger. Fear is not just a feeling, it's a complex physiological response. When we perceive a threat, our amygdala, the brain's emotional processing center, goes into overdrive. It sends signals to the hypothalamus, which triggers the release of adrenaline and other stress hormones. These hormones prepare our bodies for fight or flight, increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and breathing. This surge of adrenaline sharpens our senses and gives us a boost of energy, preparing us to either confront the threat or flee from it. Our pupils dilate to take in more visual information, our muscles tense, and our digestion slows down as blood flow is diverted to our limbs. This physiological response is designed to help us survive in dangerous situations. However, in modern life, we rarely face life or death situations. Our fears are often triggered by social or emotional threats like public speaking or job interviews. Chronic stress from constant fear activation can have negative impacts on our physical and mental health. Learning to manage our fear response is crucial for our overall well-being. Fear has a knack for turning molehills into mountains. It whispers worst-case scenarios in our ears, convincing us that a minor setback is the end of the world. That upcoming presentation, fear tells you you'll freeze, forget everything, and become a laughingstock. A slightly critical comment from your boss? Fear interprets it as a sign you're about to be fired. Remember that time you accidentally sent a text message to the wrong person? Fear probably convinced you that your life was over, your reputation ruined, and your social circle would shun you forever. In reality, the recipient probably just chuckled and moved on with their day. But in the grip of fear, logic and reason take a back seat. Fear thrives on uncertainty. When faced with the unknown, our minds often fill in the blanks with the worst possible outcomes. This negativity bias is an evolutionary adaptation designed to keep us safe. Learning to recognize these distortions is the first step towards taming our fears. Flirting with fear means approaching it with curiosity rather than avoidance. It involves acknowledging its presence, understanding its message, and choosing to engage with it in a healthy way. It's not about being reckless or ignoring potential dangers. It's about recognizing that fear often masks opportunities for growth and transformation. Imagine fear as a dance partner. You don't want to be completely dominated by it, dragged across the dance floor against your will, but you also don't want to avoid the dance altogether. Instead, you want to lead, to set the pace, to find a rhythm that allows you to move gracefully and confidently. When we flirt with fear, we open ourselves up to new experiences and possibilities. We step outside our comfort zones and discover hidden strengths and resilience. We begin to see fear not as an enemy to be conquered, but as a guide, pointing us towards areas where we can grow and evolve. Fear is often a sign that we are on the cusp of something great. It indicates that we are pushing ourselves beyond our limitations, venturing into unfamiliar territory. When we choose to face our fears, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We discover hidden strengths, develop new skills, and expand our horizons. Think about learning to ride a bike. The fear of falling is natural, but it's also what motivates us to keep practicing, to find our balance. Once we overcome that fear, we experience the exhilarating freedom of riding on two wheels. Consider the fear of public speaking. For many, the thought of standing in front of a crowd and delivering a speech is terrifying. But by choosing to face this fear, we develop valuable communication skills, build confidence, and learn to connect with others in a meaningful way. Flirting with fear is not about being reckless or throwing caution to the wind. It's about taking calculated risks, assessing the potential dangers, and making informed decisions. It's about distinguishing between healthy fear, which serves as a warning signal, and unhealthy fear, which paralyzes us and prevents us from living fully. Imagine you're considering a career change. You feel drawn to a new field, but the fear of the unknown holds you back. Flirting with fear in this situation might involve taking small steps, like researching the new field, talking to people who work in it, or taking a course to develop relevant skills. These actions help you gain clarity and confidence, allowing you to approach the change with more excitement than dread. The key is to approach fear with discernment. Not all fears are created equal. Learning to differentiate between these two types of fear is crucial for making wise decisions. Have you ever looked back on your life and regretted not taking a chance? Perhaps you had the opportunity to travel the world, pursue a passion project, or express your feelings to someone special, but fear held you back. The ghosts of missed opportunities can haunt us, reminding us of what could have been. These regrets can serve as powerful motivators. They can inspire us to take more risks, to embrace the unknown, and to live our lives more fully. By reflecting on the times when fear prevented us from pursuing our dreams, we can gain valuable insights into the patterns that hold us back. Reflecting on missed opportunities is not about dwelling on the past. It's about learning from our experiences and using those lessons to inform our future choices. Fear, while often perceived as a negative emotion, can be a powerful catalyst for growth and transformation. When we choose to face our fears, we not only overcome obstacles, but also discover hidden strengths and resilience. The process of transforming fear begins with awareness. We must first recognize the presence of fear and acknowledge its influence on our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Instead of suppressing or ignoring our fears, we must bring them into the light of consciousness. Once we are aware of our fears, we can begin to challenge the stories we tell ourselves about them. Are these fears based on reality or on imagined scenarios? Are they serving us or holding us back? By questioning our fears, we can begin to dismantle the limiting beliefs that keep us stuck. Transforming fear involves shifting our perspective. Fear often goes hand in hand with another formidable foe, failure. The fear of failing can be so overwhelming that it prevents us from even trying. We become paralyzed by the thought of not measuring up, of making mistakes, of being judged. But what if we could reframe our relationship with failure? Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone towards it. Every successful person has experienced countless failures along the way. It's through these setbacks that we learn, grow, and develop resilience. Failure is not something to be avoided, it's an essential part of the learning process. Fear is a universal human experience. It's part of what makes us human. But we don't have to be defined by our fears. We have a choice. We can choose to let fear control us, or we can choose to control our fear. We can choose to stay on the sidelines, or we can choose to step into the arena. The arena is where life happens. It's where we take risks, where we make mistakes, where we experience both triumphs and setbacks. It's where we truly live. Stepping into the arena requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Choose to show up, to be seen, to be heard. The world is waiting for you.